Hey there, do you have a high ticket offer and you want to learn the skills on how to become a good high ticket closer? If that's you, I'm going to teach you those exact skills that I've tested and proven over time today in this episode. So stay tuned and I'll see you soon. Hey, welcome back. It's Rachel Whynot here with Founder Freedom TV, and I am your business and marketing success coach. We're talking about everything on how to build your high-ticket business online so you can live and work freely, save time with family and friends, and have all that fun and become a real freedompreneur. That's what I'm here for, okay? So, on that note, in this episode, as you know, we're going to be talking about high-ticket closing skills. Okay, everybody asks me this. I have so many entrepreneurs that come to me that are, number one, scared to really, sell a high-ticket offer because it can be scary. I get it. When I first started, I was a little bit, I wasn't as confident, right? But it takes these skills and it takes some time to develop these skills as well, okay? I mean, you're not gonna be an amazing high-ticket closer overnight. However, I wanna teach you these skills that you can work on, specifically how to work on them today in this episode so you can become an amazing high-ticket closer. Anybody, whether you've had experiences with sales or not, trust me, I've not had much experience with sales and I can do it. And a lot of my other clients, they've had zero experience and they have done it as well. Okay, so this is really, really key to building up your high ticket sales. And we want to talk about high ticket closing skills today specifically. Okay, so number one, and this is very important, okay? So number one is rapport. Okay, so we want to build rapport, okay? How do you do that? Not as easy as it might sound, right? Sounds so easy, build rapport, done. No, you really want to, when you get on a call with somebody, you want to make them know that you are an expert, okay? That might actually be number one, but you want to become the expert on that call with them. You are that expert. So actually, I would really say, number one, even I don't know if it's a really skill, but at the same time, you need to develop that confidence, okay? It's really, really important. And if you know how to do high ticket closing, which I'm going to teach you in this episode and other episodes, you will build that confidence more and more over time. And the more that you do it, the more that you practice, etc., you will build that confidence, okay? I've worked with lots of clients who came in not confident, and we've worked on it to make them confident and get those high ticket sales that they want and that they and you deserve, okay? So rapport, gotta build rapport. It really is all about, it's really all about becoming that expert. And when you get on a call with somebody, the first thing, you have to be in control of the call, okay? So, if they start asking you, oh, well, what is your product or service? Or blah, 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 you really want to steer back around and be in control and be confident, okay, in what you're doing. You say, one of the first lines that I say is, hi, love to learn more about you and your business. So why don't you just give me a little bit of your backstory to start? Obviously my product and my service is for entrepreneurs building their businesses. So I want to learn more about them and their backstory of kind of how they got to where they are today, right? So that's just kind of good opening, but the whole point of it is that you want to have that confidence and you want to have control of the call. The second that they take over control, the call is done, okay? The sale is done, essentially, okay? So you really want to build that rapport. And another way to build that rapport, number two, is what we call active listening. Okay, this is a big one. So when you're on these calls, yes, of course, you want to be asking questions and you want to gather information from your prospect, right? Because the whole point of high ticket sales, and I've said this in other episodes as well, is that you want to make sure that your product or service is the right fit for your prospect that you're talking to. And your prospect wants to make sure that you and your product or service are the right fit for them, right? It's a mutual agreement here, okay? That's why I don't like there's so many bad connotations on sales and being salesy. It's really just about making sure it's the right fit. That's all, okay? So when you ask questions, you want to gather information at the beginning to see that your product or service really can help them, right? So you want to practice what we call active listening. Really important, okay? And this actually builds rapport too, which is quite interesting. So active listening. When your prospect is talking, they're going to talk about maybe their struggles and what they've gone through and, different things, right? What I want you to do is, I always recommend some sort of video call or face-to-face if possible. And if not, on the phone is just as good. But you want to make sure that they know that you are listening and that your concentration is on them and nobody else. Okay, that's really important because that shows respect and it builds that rapport more, okay? So you want to, say things like, oh, okay, I understand what you're saying. Or, even just little sounds can really go a long way. I'm telling you, this has been proven. This is not just from me. This is from a lot of different high-end salespeople and trainers, and studies have shown that active listening really does build that rapport. Okay, it's really, really important. Little hums and haws, and even if you can really, if they get into the pain points, you can really feel their pain, right? Like your product or service, you created it, or whether you're a high ticket closer, selling a product or service, you have to believe in it, right? In order to and I hate saying sell it, but yeah, you are selling it, but you have to believe in it in order to show it to somebody and tell somebody about it and tell them the benefits and the outcomes of it, right? So you want to really, feel what they're feeling and practice that active listening. So important. It's one of the most important things and skills, one of the most high ticket closing skills that you can do. I promise you, once you start doing this more, you'll develop deeper conversations and it'll just go that much more smoother, okay? So active listening. Okay, so I kind of mentioned it already, but we're obviously going to want to ask questions. And, the skill of asking questions, you want it to, again, it's all about your tone of voice too, okay? Think about that. When you ask these questions, I want you to ask them with strength, with realness. I'm trying to find that word. I want you to ask them with real passion, right? If I'm going to ask somebody, which I do ask, is, okay, maybe they told me a little bit about their business and whatnot, and then I ask, so what have you been struggling with? See how they said that? I didn't say, so what have you been struggling with? See that difference, right? You want to be deep in the conversation. You want to feel it. You want your whole body, my body's pins and needling right now. I don't know if you can see, but you want to feel it. Because the more that you do that, the more that they will give you raw, real answers as well, which is what you want, right? So it's really important on, the tone of voice, the way you ask questions, the way that you're actively listening, taking notes, if they're in a meeting, take notes, show that you're consuming what they're saying. It's really, really important, okay? And it makes the whole process that much more easier and simple and effective, okay? Okay, so last but not least, we're gonna get into something called, it's a little more advanced, but I didn't want to leave it out for you. Okay, so this is called looping. So, so once you kind of get to that stage where you've asked some questions, you understand what their wants, needs, and withouts are, right? What they're struggling with. And you figured out at this point, you know what? My product or service is a good fit for them. Okay, it's important. And it's not a good fit for everybody. So don't be that person that says, oh, it's a good fit for you if it's not a good fit. Okay. I tell people all the time, honestly, I don't think I can help you. And it's true, but I'll say I can refer you on to somebody else. But if I know that my product and service is going to help somebody, then I'll say, okay, I have the perfect thing for you. And I mean it. You know what I mean? So when you start to get into the back end of the whole call, You're going to show them the product or service, the benefits and the outcomes of it, of course, right? Now you're going to start getting, and it happens to everybody, it's very natural, you're going to start getting what we call smoke screens, okay? These are objections. You can call it objections, call them smoke screens, call them whatever you want. You're going to get them, okay? Hands down, it's going to happen. Biggest one is I don't have money, right? Another one is maybe I have to talk to a spouse or somebody else about it, make sure, my boss, whatever. You're going to get these objections, okay? It's natural. So what you want to do is practice something that we call, it's a good skill to have, it's called looping. You're going to loop back around to the beginning, okay? Think about that, loop back around. So what you're going to say, remember when we talked, I asked you all these questions and, you told me you're struggling with this and whatnot and, all these, like actually repeat some of the things they told you because you wrote them down, right? You want to loop back around and say, well, I just want to get something clear and ask you this. Like and you should actually say one key element. You should say, I understand what you're saying, because you have to acknowledge like they're putting up some sort of objection for a reason, right? So you want to acknowledge that and say, I understand, you might not have a ton of money right now, or, you might have to talk to somebody, but I just want to know, okay, it's really important. And look how I'm saying this, right? Like I'm saying with conviction and passion. That's really important. So I'm saying, I just want to know, from everything I told you about the product or service and what you told me that you're struggling with this and that and these things, like, does this make sense? Does this product or service make sense? And do you think that it could help you? And all you're looking for is yeses, of course. Okay, you want those yeses. But that's a skill that we call looping. And then that drives them down that next path on developing more rapport, more active listening, more questions, right? So that's like the process. And these are the biggest skills, honestly, that you need to really, really do on your high ticket sales calls, okay? So high ticket closing skills, these are the most important, in my opinion, skills that you need. Of course, there's others, but these are amazing skills. Practice them now. Comment below if you guys have any questions. If you want to show me something, we're always here to help you. I'm here to help you as your business and marketing success coach. And I have lots more episodes for you here that we're going to teach you more on high ticket sales and other topics around business and marketing. So I'll see you in the next episode.